Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. I am currently working on a video that is going to be incredibly long, and it is going to be a really well edited, long. Hold up. Hey, hi, howdy, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So I currently have a video in the works that is taking me a little longer than I was expecting it to be. It's going to be an incredibly long ranking video. It might be one of my longest videos I've ever made. It's going to take a lot of editing time. It's going to take a lot of processing time and stuff like that. So I'm kind of struggling to make videos right now, but I wanted to make sure I posted a video today. So I am going to be discussing something that has happened in the news recently that is kind of getting a lot of people's attentions, and a lot of people are talking about it. So welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Talks. I'm sorry to do back-to-back Unfiltered Talks videos, but news came out that they are going to be rebooting the Wizards of Waverly Place franchise. So I kind of wanted to make a video just kind of talking about some of the stuff that we 100% know is confirmed about it, and then kind of dive deeper into if I think this is a good idea, what I think this could potentially lead to, if I think that there's stuff that hasn't been announced that is going to be announced, stuff like that. So let's just dive into this. Alrighty, so starting off with all the things that we know about this show. So it was announced that this show is potentially going to be coming back, but one of the big things that's kind of been unclear about the announcement is when it'll be coming back, how long it's going to be back for, what exactly it's going to be. So basically what has been confirmed is they have ordered a pilot episode to be created, which basically means that if nothing else, they're at least going to make a first episode that they could show to test audiences and kind of get a general feel for what this show would be, if people are going to like it, how people are going to react to it, and stuff like that. And one of the big things that we know about it is that Selena Gomez is set to be a producer on the show, and she will be reprising her role as Alex Russo in the show, and as well as David Henry, the actor who plays Justin Russo, would be coming back and reprising his role as well. He would be one of the head writers on it. He has posted a couple of different things, which is where we've gotten the majority of our information about the show. He has a TikTok account where he basically confirmed that there was going to be a reboot, and then he also, I believe, posted something on his Instagram story, which was just basically a premise of the writer's room, and the fact that they were working on creating more scenes for the pilot episode, which, like I said, was something that was ordered by Disney. So if nothing else, there will at least be a pilot episode. Some test audiences are definitely 100% going to get to see it, but more than likely, as long as people enjoy it, it should be coming back. And now, also, while we're still talking about the things that have been confirmed for the show, there have been a list of young actors and actresses who are going to be coming onto the show, and among them are some pretty interesting names. We have, hold up, I'm going to pull them up because they are, like I said, they are young actresses or up-and-coming actresses and actors that I've never heard of before. We got someone named Janice Leon Brown. I don't know how to pronounce this name. It's like Alkeo Thiel, something like that. And then Mimi Geniopoulos. I probably just really butchered that last name as well. But those are some of the main actors and actresses who are expected to be coming in through this, pilot episode. And then there was a story outline for what the pilot episode was going to be. And it's going to be following Justin Russo, who, if you remember from the original show, he ended off being kind of like the head wizard person of the wizarding world there. He was one of the main people who was going to be taking over and being somebody who other people can look up to, kind of be like a professor at one of the universities and stuff there. And it says that in this original outline for the first episode, he has given up his powers and has went to having just a normal life. He, I guess, found a significant other that was a mortal human being, and he decided to give up all of his powers and everything like that to live a normal life. And everything seems to be going well with his life until he runs into a young wizard who is struggling and needs his help to kind of harness his powers and become a better wizard. And that to me sounds like a good concept for a show. I think that that's exactly how the show should start. And I definitely think that that sounds like it has potential. And something that I really like about this reboot potentially is it's not going to be focusing on necessarily just the Russo family, but instead somebody who's coming in who's an outsider to the family and somebody who can create a new relationship to them. Something that I think is really interesting, one of my favorite movie franchises, is Back to the Future has a bond between an adult and somebody who's really young. And something that I really like about it is it's never really fully addressed why they are friends. But as somebody who has worked retail and worked, customer service and stuff like that, sometimes in your regular day-to-day life, you will have really close friends who are your coworkers who are insanely older than you. And something that I like about it is that sometimes people just take other people under their wing. So I think that there's room for a very interesting character dynamic with Justin Russo being somebody who's an ex-professor, somebody who used to be a wizard, who's not really in the game anymore, who can still come back and teach lessons to somebody who understands it better. And I think that it's a very interesting story, and I think that it can be cool. And I like the fact that he's kind of going to be carrying over the role that his father played in the original series, and I think that that's very interesting. And now to talk about some of the other things that's more speculative. So let's dive into that. So for people who do not know, the actress who played Harper in the original show and the actor who plays the father in the original show have a podcast together, which is called like something along the lines of like the Waverly Pod or something like that. And it's basically them talking about a bunch of things that happened on the show and a bunch of things that have been going on in their acting careers and stuff since the show. And I've never listened to the podcast, but I know some people are fans of the podcast. Other people think it's kind of like weird that they are holding on to the past so, deeply, because like for a lot of the other characters and actors who are in that show, they've kind of moved on to bigger and better things. And they're very much holding on to like this one show from forever ago. And when this announcement was released that there was going to be a new Wizards of Waverly Place reboot, both of them seemed relatively shocked. Like it's both of them have commented stuff on both Instagram post and TikTok post and so on and so forth about how they didn't know that a reboot was coming. And a lot of people have kind of seen this as like turmoil, as like, oh my god, they're not getting the original cast back, which personally I think is better. I think that it would be kind of a mistake to focus too much on the characters that we've already spent a lot of time with. And I think that the whole point of a reboot is to introduce new characters and to kind of introduce a perspective that you haven't seen before. And I think that if we're just rehashing the same stuff as before, it's not interesting. It's not adding anything new to the table. And as much as I think it could be cool to see them in cameos and to see them kind of show up for maybe a single episode where their character would fit in more, that's great. But what we have so far announced is just a pilot episode, which I feel like is kind of better having less characters from the original show being thrown into it. Because as much as I like Disney and as much as I love nostalgia being such a big thing, I think that they need to stop handling nostalgia and letting nostalgia basically take the wheel and just be the main selling point of all of their TV shows, all of their movies, and so on and so forth. So personally, I think that bringing back the entire ensemble cast is a terrible idea, and I'm glad that it seems as though it's mostly just going to be Justin and Alex, because they are the focal characters of the original show. And I feel like something that a lot of like these projects that are just rehashing old things keep having problems with is getting newer audiences interested in the stuff that it is. And I think that having just two characters and characters whose stories are relatively well known and relatively easy to follow, and making them be the characters who are returning, as opposed to the father is now not the same character from the original show because he doesn't have his powers anymore, so he's not really going to be the mentor figure. And then same thing with like Harper, is like she's a side character who honestly doesn't really add much to the show. She was just kind of like a comic relief character, so she also doesn't really need to be included in this. I'm sure they're going to have their own comic relief characters, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so overall, I think that the show has potential. I think that it's interesting that they're bringing this back. I don't know if it's going to be a Disney Plus thing, if it's going to be something that's on Disney Channel, but I kind of hope that it is something that's on Disney Channel, because growing up watching Wizards of Waverly Place, it was one of the only Disney Channel original things that was not as realistic. It was something that took place in a world that it doesn't exist, and it was very refreshing, because a lot of the Disney Channel shows, if I remember correctly, were things that like kind of felt like they could happen in real life, which I'm not saying is a problem, but I think that kids really need more imagination, and they need to dream big, and sometimes it's harder to dream big when the only things you're seeing is actual realistic interpretations of life. So that being said, I think it's interesting that they're rebooting it. I am definitely going to keep my eye out on it, depending on what it is. I might watch it, I might not watch it if it comes out, but I just thought that I would give you guys my 2 cents on that. But yeah, that was it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow. Bow, bow.
He wanted me to drop a verse, I did this. We planned a day, and then we wanna be in love with the girls with the kisses. Don't give a damn, I'll rid this. I like this when I run the distance. I run a 5K, you go ballistics. I wanna live within the business. Buy more than what's on the clearances. You're getting bent cause I know you're a physicist. I wanna deny this shit, I'm unlimited.